Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Welcome to Kill Me Now, yeah!
.com.
No, it's not killmenow.com. Lauren is on voice probation right now. And our guest today, as you probably know if you listened to last week's episode, is the incredible, the one and only, Rich Vos, ladies and gentlemen! Rich Vos!
Otherwise known as Bonnie McFarlane's husband.
Awesome. Now, he was around way before.
Yes, thank you.
I've known Rich for over 30 years.
I'll still say it.
When his teeth were like...
A mess. You
had your teeth a mess
Love
for
you,
a
Bonnie.
while.
Yeah, well, these are all
I know,
implants.
thank God.
Implants. Yeah, well, I had bad teeth growing up, and then,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, but you're a
kids
Jew.
rose.
You'd think your parents would...
I was a poor Jew. We had no money growing up, so I didn't, And they did, when I was young.
Wait, but all Jews are rich.
I know, and they run the country, all 3% of us.
Right.
There's 1% Native American in this country, and there's 3% Jews. You know what I mean? So that's
Right.
and there's billion% of everybody else, but 3% in this country, yet we run the country.
We run
Yeah,
the banks and the media.
Yeah, we run it all. And it's weird in a capitalistic society,
Right.
the fact that we chose to work in Hollywood and built up a business there. Hey, you know what? It's in a capitalistic society. You could open up. You can compete and do whatever you want if you have the money in this country.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
No one ever attacks Japanese for cars or Italians for construction
Or
It's
Germans for
yeah.
cars
Yeah, it's
and
always the
killing
Jews.
Jews.
The Jews. We run it all 3%. Here's the thing: if we run this country 3%, that doesn't say a lot for the other 97%.
7%, right.
That says
Right.
Anyhow, but I don't want
kind
to
of
get
a
into that.
compliment when you think about
get
it.
into that because that
Yes.
is something that really does piss me off.
Well,
Yeah.
because if you go throughout the country, back in the early 70s or 70s when banks were foreclosing on farms throughout the country.
Right.
Farmers were losing their livelihood and families and people in the Midwest, the South. Who are they going to blame? Who's doing this?
Right.
Now, the Jews who run the banks. But even back then in the 70s, Jews weren't even allowed to work in certain banks, in certain companies.
Well, they
had to-
couldn't even. My mother grew up
Yeah.
in Manhattan. You
Yeah.
couldn't walk on.
Yeah.
None of them went to the East Side. They
Yeah.
couldn't get apartments there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's.
But
But we're the assholes for instead of being victims, we got educated and
Well, back in the day, you needed someone to point the finger at. Just like
Right.
now, you always need someone to point the finger at, someone to blame for whatever's going wrong in your life.
Right.
Instead of taking
I
control
blame
of
you.
your... Yeah, you should. But look, my life, I should be dead now. But who took control of my life? I was a crack addict. I was a
Right.
drug addict.
you were a
stoner.
Jewish crack addict,
Yes.
stoner. So if you're a Jew and you're doing crack,
Free-base crack, yeah, go ahead.
so you probably got higher quality because you're a Jew.
No, I was up on 158th in Amsterdam,
Oh, okay.
doing whatever it took.
And
making
did
your
you,
own.
So as a Jew doing crack, before you lit the crack pipe, did you do a prayer?
Yeah, I did.
The Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
and
Okay.
As he rocks
so-
the pipe.
Is there a prayer for
Yeah, please,
lighting a
please let me get more. That was the please let me get more prayer. Please,
okay.
please don't arrest me. And I took control of my life. No one saved me. No one, and you have
Right.
to make a decision in life.
Jesus
And yes,
didn't save you?
And people, people, yes,
BP.
grow up. People grow up with less
But,
than and unfortunate and
You're from Plainfield, New Jersey.
Yes, and here's the thing: there's minorities with this rape case in wherever, and this
Oh,
kid
that
gets
so
it's
pisses
fucking,
me off.
and then they compare it to African Americans. It's fucked up. It's a fucked up
But there was a
world.
football player who's African American who's in jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah. And there was
this
one that
fucking white piece of shit.
Yes, of course. And it's,
And the judge is like, it's fuck you.
well, that judge should be.
What
thrown
about
off.
the father? Oh, it was 20 minutes.
It was
He should be
only
thrown
20
off.
minutes.
Yeah, really. How
Yeah.
long does it take to murder somebody? One
Imagine
minute.
someone's
Go fuck
dicking
yourself.
you for 20 minutes that
Right.
you don't want
Who
there.
could
Wait.
last that long? It's disgusting.
I have a
It's
4-hour erection right now.
It's fucking
Having
disgusting that this
You need to call a doctor.
judge is still even on
the bench.
But
But
it's
that
disgusting.
is what the way people think. They don't care about her future and
Yeah.
the fact that she is permanently
Fucking
damaged
fucked up.
from this. It's all about what, he was a swimmer and he was this.
Who
Fuck
gives a fuck?
him. He's an asshole, and his father's obviously an asshole.
Well, this is how we have been treating sports teams in these,
Right.
It's not only sports.
podunk
Yeah.
towns.
Right. Okay.
I had
so,
a cousin back in the day who passed away. God rest.
Jew.
Yeah, and he was caught with a couple ounces of coke. Ounces. He got off. His family had money. They
Right.
weren't first cousins. They were, but his family had money. If that was a minority,
How did he die?
I don't know. I was never close.
What's the prayer for before you snort coke?
Elohim
Okay.
Please let me get more.
Richard, you were going to say something in the very beginning that you were having a discussion with her. Now, you host My Wife Hates Me on
Yes.
Sirius. I have known you for a very long time,
Yes.
and I've always been a fan.
Thank you. Like so.
Thank you. You are a great joke writer.
Thanks.
You are consistent. You always kill. Shut the fuck up. But you are so fucking mad about everyone else's success.
No, I'm not. And that's not true at all. I'm mad. Here, I'm not
Wait,
mad.
you're not? All right.
Okay, see,
Because
there's
I have a
difference.
little bit of this.
Wait, no,
in
there's
me,
a
too.
difference between frustration and bitterness. When I see people that deserve to get ahead,
Right.
I'm happy for them.
Right.
It's just like anything in this world. When
Right.
you go buy, when you go out for dinner, if you get a good meal, you're happy. If you get a shitty meal, you're happy.
Right.
Okay, someone made that meal and delivered it for you.
Right.
Okay, it's the same when I see people that are frauds, who I think are frauds, in
Right.
my opinion. I'm just like, I'm going, what's going on? It's just like anything. How many TV shows are horrible or movies and you turn them off in the middle of the fucking movie and you go, this stinks.
Right.
Okay. Well, I can't feel that way.
But
And I can't feel that way about certain
No, you
comics.
can. You can.
Okay,
But
so-
it's,
So
we're
can
in
Judy.
Huh?
So can Judy.
Yes.
Okay, VP.
No.
But we get to a certain point where we chose this business. It's completely unfair. It's like high school, but worse. And but now you have a platform on your radio show that you can voice these frustrations.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
do.
still
It comes off bitterness when you
Right.
voice them.
Right.
And I still I keep creating. I'm doing.
Right.
I write all the time. I'm going to record. I think this month. In a week or two, I'm going
Right.
to record my 5th CD. All right, we made a movie. I create. All right, I was doing crowd work as good or better than anybody before everybody starts doing and coming out with you too. I'm not saying you're not.
I'm just saying,
Same with Jimmy Brogan. Same
Right.
with Belzer. Same with
Oh, yeah.
Susie Essman.
That's
okay.
who I used to watch.
All right,
Is Belzer
Yeah,
and
Belzer
Susie,
was
yeah.
the first. And so I was doing that, and I'm going. I'm bored. I can do it. I
Right.
know. It's
Right.
it's done. So and my
Well,
wife,
now there's a show called Crowd Work.
yes, and my wife said, "Why didn't you?" She used to always say, "Do a crowd work special,"
Right.
and I go, "I don't want to. I know I could." You know what I mean?
Right.
So I concentrate more on material now, and
Right.
I know if I have to do, I could do an out, 2 out. You can.
I could go up there and not do.
Yeah, I don't have to do. I could do. I've been doing this 30-something years.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I keep creating and trying to reinvent myself
Right.
and find what am I supposed to say up there.
Right. Or
I'm
what
not-
do you want to say?
Yeah,
Right.
what do I want to say? And it's so yeah, and you see these. It's a tough. You see clubs that you think you're friends with certain people,
Mm-hmm.
and then all they care about is money. They don't give a fuck how funny you are. All they care about is numbers.
Here's the problem.
Okay.
Here is the problem and I find this to be a very big problem, that now, if you are a YouTube sensation and you have, 800,000 followers because you did a funny stupid video
Yeah.
for 3 minutes, and you can pack the club, even though you're the shittiest performer ever. You can't get work. I can't get work for that weekend because they want. It's like it's not. You can't call it a comedy club. You can, but it's just about. It's so fucking annoying because we work so hard. Our generation. I'd say this all the time, and there is a listener who's like, Judy, all your stories we've heard before. But think of all those years we were on the road. No computers, no cell phones.
People don't pay their dues anymore. It's like they don't have to go through the process.
Well, there's so many ways of getting yourself out there, and it's like throwing shit against the wall.
Well,
but
here's back, and I'm not trying to sound like an old person.
I do it all the time. I sound like an old fucking lady.
There was a time comics just created.
Right.
You were hired and wrote, and you were funny. Mm-hmm. And the problem it's business, and yes, they have to make money. But a lot of clubs around the country, they go for the quick fix, which never works. Stand-up New York used to be one of the best clubs.
I know.
I remember I got Rosie from there.
Right.
When I did Rosie because Jeanette Barber was in it, and I got The View from there.
Remember when we used to have to go on stage to get jobs?
Yes.
They would watch you live.
Well,
now go ahead.
But so stand-up was, it was such a great club.
Right.
Mark Maron, Patrice, you. I can name what's all headliners on a Tuesday night. Attell. So
and it's right by my house.
And then
the
club just deteriorated because they went for the quick fix.
Right.
Bringer shows, street. Whatever
people
those,
passing out the flyers on the street.
So yes, businesses have to make money, but clubs don't realize that. I'm going to use me as an example. If you bring me in for, say, whatever, people are going to leave having a better time than if you bring in somebody for half the price than me.
So
they're going to leave and talk about it.
Great show.
Yes.
But now it's not about quality; it's about quantity.
Well,
but also, I was at stand up. I go there because it's right around the corner, and I got. The audience, I did a Donald Trump joke, and they were like, "We like Trump," and they're screaming, and they were wasted. It's just like it was one of those. I've paid my fucking dues. I don't need to deal with you fucking assholes. So I just said, you know what, guys, I'm really sorry. I'm hanging up now. I gotta go. And then a fight broke out. Because he used the N-word, and there were these two women from Washington.
Who did?
One of the guys who was acting up used the N-word. He was black. He's black, and there were these two African. I can't with the African American and black. It's like I'm so sick of
people of color.
Right. But
people of color. That's
okay. Right. It's just it used to be black.
Black.
White,
I use black still.
Yeah. So there were
just a
these
lot
two
of shades.
Colored.
That's great.
People of color.
People of color.
A little different.
Colored. That was the worst. The colored. That's the worst.
The colored. You have to say it like that.
Ridiculous. Anyway, so they had a fight. These two women were like, we were really enjoying the show, and we were really enjoying you, and and I come from Washington D.C. to New York City, and have to hear racist remarks made from. And this big fight broke out with these guys, and there was no bouncer there.
It still works.
So I'm like, this is the only club without a bouncer. So I called Donnie, who owns it, or I texted him. I go, how can you? So I said something about, that shouldn't be happening this day and age, and you need a bouncer. And he goes, "Oh, are you interested?"
What he said to me?
What?
He said, "I don't even like comedy." When I was fighting with him, he goes, "I don't even like," and he's the one who runs the club.
Right.
Here's what you got to realize as a comic, and I say this to myself when it comes to the other side of the business, which there are great people on the other side, but when it comes to managers, agents, club owners, bookers, any of that stuff, I can do that. They can't do what I do.
Absolutely.
I could do what anybody does on the other side. I've done sales. I've done it half my life, back in the day.
No,
So,
they are replaceable.
Yes.
They are absolutely.
You
we
cannot
are not
do what
replaceable.
I do. I've been doing this for 30
And don't judge me.
Yes.
If I'm not your type of humor, I am humor. I am, if you don't laugh at you or me, there's something fucking wrong with you.
Want to hear something funny? There was a club. I got to tell you a story, and I bring it up all the time.
Right.
That won't use me because I did crowd work. Well, I went in on a Thursday. The club, the owner wasn't there, and I had anxiety.
Okay, I just need to know where the club is.
I will in a second. So, and I was having. I didn't kill. I didn't bomb, but I didn't do good. I was really having bad anxiety. So someone said to her, "Oh, he's stuck." Anyhow, so.
How long ago?
Oh, I don't know, 7 years ago. Anyhow, so it's Halloween weekend. I'm doing crowd. There's a guy in the audience in blackface. Right. How am I not going to talk? How am I not going to trash him? Anyhow, so I don't work the club anymore. It's just like no. So then I work with a guy.
Okay, that story was so bad.
Well, I'm
beginning. So you do crowd work.
And then, no, she said to the manager, "I can't bring him back. He does too much crowd work." Who said?
Cares?
I know.
Right,
it's because of numbers. It's all numbers. So I'm doing a club, one of the Funny Bones, and the middle act does a podcast with this club owner, and he's opening for me. And he goes, "You're a mate," whatever. He saw me do every night for an hour. Mm-hmm. So he said, "I'll mention you back to the club owner." So I emailed the club owner. So I go, "Look, maybe whatever reason it didn't work out. I'm sorry for whatever I did, or whatever. Maybe we could try again. I'm not looking to get rich. Let's try. I got a lot of fans in your
area.
So I send that email.
Right.
No response. So then I send another email. The second one was, by your lack of response, I think this is going pretty well. I think this is going pretty well. Thank you, and we'll talk later. Then I said, and still nothing.
Right.
Last night, I wrote an email. Being that our communication is open now, I feel like it's time that I will send you some avails. Mm-hmm. And don't worry, I don't have to bring. I send it. I go. Right. I don't have to bring my own middle, and I'm looking forward to coming back to the club. So I'm having this conversation
with yourself. That's hilarious.
Isn't it fucking, and she's got to think I'm crazy.
You have a restraining order on you now.
She's got to think I'm crazy.
So where's the club?
In Denver, the Comedy Works.
What? I can't go there either.
Word?
What happened? I had a date. I had to cancel it.
Kicked out of
I had a date there, and then I had to cancel because I got a theater gig or a TV gig. I got something, and now it's like no. I don't even remember. I haven't been there in at least 20 years.
Well, no, it's a good. Listen, I did. She wasn't there, but I kept saying that weekend to the managers that I go, "Is there anything you want me to change? Anything?"
Right.
It's going great.
But it's like.
No, I mean, like,
don't tell a comic what to do on stage.
No, I'm saying, but maybe they run their club a certain way, and I could go and I could be sparkly clean. I
might do that. That's funny.
Yes. So,
oh my God.
But the thing is, I was there twice. The first time with Bonnie,
right,
and she brought me back. So obviously she liked me. Mm-hmm. So I guess the numbers weren't good enough, and the Thursday I didn't kill, but I didn't bomb.
It's a good audience, right?
Yeah, it's a great club.
Yeah.
And there's no reason I shouldn't work there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of clubs I don't work for whatever reason. But if I had a TV show right now, they'd be all like, "Hey, where you been?"
And you don't even have to be funny.
Oh,
you don't have. It's just
listen. If Amanda Bynes called a certain club and said, "I want to do a weekend," they go, "What weekend?"
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to do stand up.
I was at a club
or John Mayer.
Yeah. I was at a club in L.A. where I was headlining that Saturday, and this is Michael Richards walked in before and they put him on, and he did like 25 minutes, cut into and he's not going to do what I don't give a fuck. And this is before the whole incident. I go, why is he taking up my time?
Right, and why do you like?
And they cut me back.
When people come in and you get bumped, like I just called a club today, or I emailed. I said, "Listen, I think I need to do a spot tomorrow night because I haven't done stand up since I've been doing Shakespeare, and I have a gig on Thursday. So I said, I think I need, I would like to do a spot." And I said, "What's a convenient time for you. That's like what I do because I know what it feels like to be bumped.
Yes.
And, don't do a fucking hour and a half,
I don't mind. I don't mind getting bumped, but I was headlining this club.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
But if you're the headliner, someone did that. The Tucson. What's the club in Tucson?
There's a bunch of them.
And he hated me. I don't know what it was. I always think it's anti-Semitism. I really do.
Yeah.
It's either misogyny, anti-Semitism, or gay hating. But he's like, a lot of times they'll put on like a misogynist, gay hater, fuckhead in front of me to make it harder, which is why I don't do a lot of clubs anymore. I do more theaters, but I'm not big theaters, but like,
That's great, though.
And he puts on this guitar act instead in front of me who does... It was like anything to make it more difficult.
Why
and
do
the
they
guy
do that?
does like 40 minutes. I'm like, why are you setting me up to fail? It's your club. People are here to see me, and you're just making it as hard as possible for me to, do what I do.
I worked a
Crazy.
club once in Arizona, Scottsdale. Not the one I work now for Howard. The other one.
I want to go to Scott. I heard
Yeah.
there's a really good
Yeah.
club there. Is there?
Yeah, it's
And my
pretty-
brother
yeah.
lives there.
So the one I did after it
Right.
one time, the owner's the MC. He goes up. They think that
I
they're
went-
gonna,
yeah.
they think they're going to blow me off the stage.
Right.
You're not in my league.
Right.
I promise you, you're not.
Right.
I can follow anybody.
Me too.
Anybody. I don't give a fuck. Oh well, no, that's another one. But I
know.
don't want to get into that.
Right.
You're not. I don't care what goes on. I don't care if 5 people light themselves on fire in front of me because I'm just,
you and I
know,
know. I've been through nothing
Yes.
can throw me. I've done lunchrooms. I've
Yes.
done outside events. I've been on a ship where the fucking electricity went out and there was a fire,
So
and
funny.
they had the generator lights on me, and I'm in a theater, and I just kept going and going. I have done. You cannot. I've had one guy getting screamed at by a mob boss in the front row while I'm performing. I mean, it's like,
Yes.
don't even,
I
you have
had-
no fucking idea. I've been called a kike, a dyke. Fuck you.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
This Friday I was at the Stand, which I love that club, and
I haven't put my
fuck.
veils in there.
yeah, I love. You don't like the Stand?
I love the stand.
love
I'm
it.
just thinking
Yeah,
about
no.
your experiences. Go
So
on.
Saturday I took a local gig in Jersey. They
Right.
just said, it was whatever money. It was decent money,
Right.
and I get there and at a table full of friends that I grew up with. I mean, that I live with, roommates that I grew up.
Right.
These are my best friends in
Right.
life. And I get there and I look and I see a stage with all this DJ bullshit,
Right.
a dance floor, and then tables.
Oh.
I go, come on, and I get
You can't have the
right.
tables. Yeah.
So I have to stand in the middle of the dance floor.
Right.
I mean, I trashed the place for 10 minutes.
Right.
How fucking horrible. You could hear dishes in the back. I mean, I
Right.
did an hour and 20. Look,
Right.
So what I'm saying is, I'm going to.
But it's
I'm
also
gonna take,
like, you're friends and you want
Yeah.
them to see you.
Yeah, but they
yeah.
understood it.
Right.
But here's the thing. I've had fights with club owners break out and I'm on stage and a big brawl
Right.
broke out once, and I got up and did 45 minutes after the brawl
Right.
to go over the brawl, and I sold DVDs and I said, it's going to say fight night, you only get that once, and I sold out.
Right.
But like I'm saying, if you're a club owner, these guys, Arizona, there was
Right.
one up in fucking Rhode Island. You're not, stop, make the show, build. A host, break him in, a strong host.
But create a show. Be an
yes.
artistic director.
Yes.
Say, it's like when people, curate, things at a museum. They're all connected somehow.
Right.
They all complement one another. It's like, what the fuck? Why do you put these just make it a show?
Don't put anybody on in front of me with a lisp, okay? People don't want to go to the lisp.
I don't need a fucking Jew. Dyke
like-
who's over 6 feet tall,
Yes.
who talks about her mother. I don't want you on before me.
It's
Well, so
ahead.
wait, I just have to ask you a couple things. You did Last Comic Standing,
the first season.
and you came in third,
Yes,
and then you were one of the finalists. Then you did it again, right?
I did it. The third season, the second
Okay.
one. Yes,
So
I was a finalist in both seasons. I was on.
right. So you go to do the first season,
Yes.
And you're a finalist.
But wait, let me make this
go.
clear. I'll answer these questions
Yes.
because you're my friend. I won't with anybody, and I've done a lot since then. But go ahead. Go ahead with it.
I find you to be above it. Above.
No, when I did the first season, first of all, it was new. It was never on, and I didn't care about the comedy because we were in a house. So I looked at it.
Oh, right, you did the sleep.
I looked at it as a sitcom without a script.
Right.
And I showed as many characters as I could, and
Right.
and we got more FaceTime, me and Dave Mordahl at the time, than anybody because
Right.
we were writing bits to do, and
Right.
Dave
Right.
wrote. We did a thing in the bathtub. Dave
Right.
wrote it. You know, when they had me
He's
do
funny,
this,
I like him.
when we had to do this treasure
Right.
hunt on Hollywood Boulevard.
Right.
So they gave it for a contest, which I didn't care about any of them.
Right.
So they gave me a list of things to find
Right.
and a camera crew. So I said to my camera crew, "Come with me." And I took my list and threw it in the garbage. And I had the camera, and I just went and interviewed people on Sunset, and I made it funny. So to me, it was a show. I didn't care about the stand up because
Right.
am I competing against?
Right. I know. It's
Yeah,
like
so
you can't
stupid.
compete that way. Yeah.
But it was in the house. So then the show, the second year, Bonnie did it. That's how, I met her before and I talked to her and she hated it. She
Right.
cried.
She
Called me
was
crying.
in the house?
The second season, they went in the house too, but it was horrible for her. They
Right.
because they edit. It's reality. They
Right. Oh,
edit.
absolutely. I did Celebrity Wife
I
Swap.
could say, hey, I hate hamburgers, and then go black people, and they can put They could
Right,
take out
right,
hamburgers,
right.
so they can make it. Manipulate you, and people are starting to
And you have
realize
to
that.
sign your fucking
Yeah.
life away. Yeah.
So I did that, and then the third season was season 1 versus season 2, which they brought back, and then it was anyhow. When I did it, there was 4 comics that had been doing it a while, and then there was newer
Yeah.
comics, and I wasn't going to do it, which would have been the biggest mistake because after I did it, I'm doing selling out theater. I bought a house.
Right.
So and they bought, I was already doing Tough Crowd.
Right.
I've already did a half an hour special.
I loved Tough Crowd.
It was my favorite. I did 33 episodes or 34 episodes.
Oh, I
of it.
never counted how many I
No,
did.
I didn't count them. It was sent to me, or I did 34 or 33 episodes of Tough. I did 33 episodes of Tough Crowd, 25 episodes of Joy Behar when she had the
Right.
That's 59 or something, 58. And then I did like 10 Red Eyes. I've done over 60 Round Table. But yeah, I've never got to Larry. What's his name on Comedy
Wilmore.
Central?
Larry Wilmore.
Yeah, I've done 60 of them.
Yeah, but see, this is your bitter. This is bitter.
No, I don't want to do it, but I want to be
Driven.
offered it.
Right, but he's
It's
changed
ego.
the whole.
Oh, he did. I don't watch it.
Yeah.
My wife goes, "You want to do stuff you don't even know."
Right. So now it's like they have.
So do I.
Basically, one
Everything, I don't
guest
give a fuck.
and they're.
What do they do?
They have like, they'll have Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
And then they'll
Yeah.
have a comic on
And then
commentating, right?
No, and then they have like their staff of comics.
Oh,
You know.
here's the thing. I don't care. I wrote for the Oscars this year. I'm happy with my career.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying.
That's dope.
So you did that, and then you went back and did it again.
The third season.
But see, because people don't realize, it's like you have to be on television. You have to be on television. You have to be on television.
Stay relevant.
But then, there's certain things you're just like, I don't
I've
want to
said
do
no to
it.
things.
So you go back.
Once. Go ahead.
Is it a different format?
Pixar didn't happen.
No, I went back when it was season 1 I was on. Season 2 Bonnie was on. We're half on. Then after season 2, 6 months later, they go, "We're going to bring season 3, where season 1 competes against season 2."
Okay.
So it was just complete comedy and roast and this and that. And Bonnie wouldn't do it. Bonnie said, "I'm not going back to that bullshit." But it was good money.
Right.
They're bringing me to L.A. again.
Right.
And it was, keeping me on TV.
Right.
And it was a hard, because season 2 killed it. I mean, season 2 had
Right.
real Kathleen Madigan, Alonzo Bowden.
Right.
They had all these, we had
yeah.
shit comics.
Right.
Not shit. I mean,
Right.
newer. I shouldn't say that. We had
Right.
younger, newer comics.
Now,
Too late.
Well, no, at the
I'm
time,
I'm
no, but
joking.
now they
right,
can
not
be the
as
good.
strong.
Totally,
Not as
I
strong.
get it.
Okay, so you are a recovered crack addict.
Oh, I think you're going to say legend, but go ahead. Yeah.
And you're Bonnie is your second wife.
Yes.
Your first wife, you have 2 daughters with.
25 and 23.
I can't
Jessica,
fucking believe it. I
Jessica
remember
and Ellen.
I remember when they were like,
This big.
yeah. And what are they doing?
Jessica is working in Jersey doing sales, selling IT stuff.
Right.
and my other daughter's in Texas, and she's a buyer for a clothing company.
Okay. And do you talk to your ex-wife?
I haven't talked to her. I was good friends. I always stayed good friends with my ex-wife because we both raised our kids together.
Right.
Because I worked at night, so I would have them in the day.
Right.
And she would have them at night.
Right.
And
what did she do?
She started her own, well, she would start off as a secretary,
All right,
whatever. But she started her own house cleaning business and had a
Right.
successful business. So we always stayed close, so always friends. And plus, we didn't get divorced. Right? For 5 years, we were separated, and we were
Right.
back and forth for 5 years. Very codependent on each
Right.
other. And then she moved out to Western New Jersey, Hillsborough.
Right.
And I moved out there too because I wanted to be close to my kids.
Right.
So I bought it, and that's when I started dating Bonnie. And then we got married. But then my ex-wife would babysit our
Raina?
kid, Raina, our daughter.
She's so awesome.
Thank you. And would babysit our daughter. We'd go to my ex-wife's house for picnics. She's remarried. So I always stayed.
But now, when your kids were small, the younger one was very into sports, right?
Both of them were.
Right.
And
I
you
used
call
to,
them lesbian.
Yeah, and I used to say, "Oh, how are your lesbian daughters?" And you used to get really fucking mad.
I didn't get mad. I got.
I mean, I was even serious.
No, but I didn't. Wait, why
You
you think
did. You used
I
to
didn't
get
get
pissed
mad?
off
I didn't get
Because
mad.
the whole point was to piss him off.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't
So,
get mad because who gives a fuck if my daughters are?
Why do you think?
Well, because someone is putting an
yeah.
identity onto your
Yes,
kids.
But here's the other
But
thing.
I
Thank
was
you.
kidding.
Yes, but here's the
No.
thing.
Of course.
Here's delusional because, like in your last podcast, you called me. I'm not conservative.
I know.
But because I was on Tough Crowd all the time. And listen, to me, I don't want to get into politics.
I'm going to
really.
find out how many times I was on just to
7.
compete with you.
You OCD bitches.
I have to say, Colin was
Yes.
great to me, and
Yes.
I love him. All right, go.
Welcome to Play It, a new podcast network featuring radio and TV personalities talking business, sports, tech, entertainment, and more. Play it at play.it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
I just think, you know what? If you're far right, you're out of your mind. If you're far left, you're out of your mind.
Bingo.
I think
There's
there's
middle
got to be
ground.
moderation
Right, I know.
in this fucking world.
Okay, so here you are. What did you do before stand-up? So you're growing up in Plainfield. Did you go to college at all?
No, I quit high school.
You're a Jew who quit high school. Can
Yeah.
I now do your mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't. Yeah,
All right,
go
ready?
ahead.
You come
She
home.
passed away last week. No, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm
2
sorry.
Weeks ago. The day she passed away, it was last. Was it last? No, 2 Tuesdays ago.
I'm sorry.
So we had to do our radio show that
Right.
night, and our guest was Lenny Marcus. So Bonnie left the room.
Oh, it's good you got someone miserable.
So Bonnie said to Lenny when I was asked Rich how his mom is. So I walked back and Lenny goes, "How's your mom?" I go, "She died today," and he felt so uncomfortable.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
Did you have a funeral and everything?
We had a memorial at the cemetery.
Yeah, graveside. That's what
Yeah,
we
she
do.
was all and there was no one, a couple people, and I didn't.
Did you have a Jewish funeral?
Yeah, the rabbi, a female rabbi.
Oh, that's disgusting.
I know we couldn't get them.
But your mother and my mother were in the
Yeah.
same nursing home,
And-
and
How come I haven't? My brother died 2 years ago. I haven't cried. My mother, I didn't
Really?
cry. I little with my mother, but I
You don't have to make tears to cry, though. You know what I mean?
I don't know what it is.
It'll hit
my
you.
emotional.
but she
fucking,
died a while ago. 'cause
Who? My mother?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
No, but she
Oh
wasn't herself.
yes, I know.
I mean,
yeah.
So
Sorry.
I don't care. Put it in there. Your
Yeah,
disgusting gum. So I'm your mother, and come home and tell me you quit. Go.
She knew I stopped going. I'm not going to school anymore.
All right. What'd she say? No, what did she really say? All right, Rich, if you don't want to go to school, don't go to school.
My mother had a tough life. My mother raised 3 kids, by herself.
Right.
Back then, it was 2 jobs. No, 1 job.
What
but
happened to your father?
He, he took off, got remarried. Then he got remarried for the 3rd time. But he's been married 30 years.
Right.
Or no.
And had other kids?
Oh no.
All right. So you're the 3 kids he had.
Yeah.
Is he alive?
Yeah. He lives in Manhattan.
And
Upper
do you
East
like
Side.
him?
Do I like him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta.
Is he rich?
No. Are you crazy?
All right.
No.
I don't know.
Oh no. You
All right. So
you gotta let go. It's hard to let go of resentment and anger. in life.
Oh my God, you're fucking saying this?
It's so hard.
I
You
know
don't think
it is. It is. It's
you
awful.
because it just and you're sitting here and you think of things and I said to my mom, when I visited her, I don't know if I go, look, you did the best. I go,
Yeah.
you raised 3 kids and 2 of them, one passed,
Right.
but 2 are very successful.
Right.
And we saw from your hard work in life how to be hard workers. I mean, she had to work as a secretary at the Firehouse City Hall for
Right.
years. And, so where do you get that from? Where do I get that from?
Right, your work
Watching her
ethic, yeah.
her hard work.
Yeah.
Now,
She's a
when you
hustler.
came home with your tattoos,
I didn't have this many back then.
so you
I had a little
quit
ones.
high school.
Yes. I didn't quit. I just stopped going.
All right, you stopped going. Did you ever get a GED?
Oh no! The other day
I meant to go.
What did I forget?
My calendars didn't sync.
So you don't even have a high school education,
No,
and you're a Jew.
but I got a 141 IQ on the internet.
That's great. Now, do you
I
think
believe it.
that do your kids know you have no high school education?
I put them through college. My kids became great kids.
Did your
because
sister? Just shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Did your sister get a high school education?
My sister went back. Lives in a fucking mansion.
And what does she do?
Now she did pharmaceutical
right.
sales, and now she works. Matter of fact, remember when you were on Rosie, producer?
Yeah.
Remember when Rosie did the Listerine thing? Whoever
Yes.
kissed my sister came up with that idea. That was my sister's company at the time.
Oh, that's
Warner.
terrific.
Warner Lambert. That was my
Yes.
sister's idea.
All right. So you what do you do after you quit high school?
I started my own. I used to have a remodel houses, painting business.
Right.
I had, my grandfather was a contractor. And
Right.
I learned how to do carpentry and.
Oh, can you
and I
paint
had-
my apartment so bad? Go.
And I had, at one time, I had 6 or 7 guys working for me.
Wow.
I had the biggest painting
How'd
business
you start
in town.
doing drugs?
Well, like anybody in junior high,
Right.
pot, this,
Yeah.
that, partying.
Gateway.
Yeah. I'm not for.
Well, I smoke pot, but I don't do anything else.
Me too.
So, God, when I talk about my life, it gives me anxiety. Do you ever have?
Really?
do you have
Oh,
anxiety?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
I'm telling
yes.
you,
it
start.
triggers. It triggers.
anxiety because then you start. Like,
Wait,
I'm-
so then how did you get on fucking crack?
how did I get on it?
Yeah.
How did I get on it?
How
I
was the
started-
first time? What was the first time?
Crack helps you
remember.
get shit done.
I don't know, but after you smoke freebase, you don't do anything else. It's like when you're in a casino and you start shooting craps, you don't go
Yeah.
back and play blackjack. It's too boring.
All right. So how long did you do that for?
An hour.
Hey, folks. Yeah.
I think 3 years. About 3 years.
And then how did you get off? Like what made you?
I put myself in rehab, and
yeah.
the day I went 5 days detox, 28 days rehab, and I remember in rehab they said you had to quit comedy for a year because you can't be
Right.
The day I got out of rehab, I worked at the Wood and Nickel Palazzo gig that day.
Oh my God! Yeah.
That day, the Wood and Nickel,
Right.
it was in New Brunswick, wherever.
Yeah.
And I have not picked up in 30 years, over 30 years now,
Is it hard?
because I substitute.
Nice.
What do you do? You have
No, that's
gum?
good. That's because of cigarettes. No, I have a spending addiction.
You do?
Oh, I'm on fucking. Know what my kick is now?
What?
I just filled 3 backpacks with survival stuff in case of fucking anything.
Oh my God! I should do that.
You,
I got-
yeah,
I'm
no,
telling you,
Judy, don't start.
I got one backpack with a machete,
Oh,
an
don't give her
axe,
any
and
ideas.
all this stuff in it in case I have to go out to the woods.
Okay, there's something mentally.
Because
all
I
right.
know, I'll tell you why. I started watching Naked and Afraid.
Oh.
And
How do
yeah,
you have time to watch television?
on the road at night.
Oh,
I
right.
watch.
All right. So, you get off the crack
Yes.
and you're working the clubs, right?
Yes.
And who's in your group? Me. I think you're a little before. When did you start?
Well, I'm 30 years sober, and I was doing it for like 3 years, so I guess 33 years.
Yeah, that's about me too, because I remember you.
I mean,
Okay.
I hung out with the drug addicts, and
Right.
after that,
Did you?
I got
Did you
sober.
hang out with like Rick Avila's?
no, Rick always tried to get me to go to a meeting because Rick was clean.
Right.
And I remember dropping him off in New York. He goes, "You want to come in?" I go, "No," and I went and got high. And he always, and then when I did get sober, he was still alive, and I used to talk to him, and he was, I guess, it's good for him.
He hosted evening at the Apollo, so a lot of people probably don't remember him.
He was great. He was in the movie Ghost.
Yeah.
He was the guy that killed Patrick Swayze
Yeah.
in the movie Ghost.
And then Carol Henry, my friend Carol Henry.
I kind of who
You don't remember Carol Henry?
Yes,
she
I
died
do.
of AIDS, but she was
Yes, I remember.
from shooting up, and she remembers
really?
the day. She said she remembers the day she got infected. She said she went to a friend's, and she really wanted some heroin, and they were in the bathroom, and he was like, "Here, just use my needle," and she was like, "No, I can't use your needle," and she wanted it so bad, and she knew she shouldn't use his needle, and boom.
Ugh.
Isn't that awful?
It's horrible. And I was just talking to a doctor how I remember when we went to visit a guy. All these guys I grew up with are on my block. You know, I grew up in an urban area that were shooting heroin, and they were just dropping. I remember going to visit a friend in a hospital, and the nurses were wearing surgical masks.
Yeah.
And we go, he must have that thing they're talking
Right.
about. They didn't know. I just talked about this in the car coming here with a doctor. And back then it was a fucking death sentence.
Well, it was a death sentence, and Reagan
Yes.
was a fucking asshole.
Well, he cut back
Awful.
on, you know.
He wouldn't even say the word.
So,
Oh, he's off. Ryan White. The whole thing makes me so sick.
Well, but now, and I was talking to this doctor, because I just had a physical yesterday. I went for a yearly physical,
I have
and
to
they
go do
took
that.
blood tests,
Yeah.
right? And they called me today and go, your blood's normal. But then
But you're not.
But they don't check hepatitis,
Right.
HIV, this
Right.
and that. So in my mind, I'm going, look, if everything else is normal, my
Yeah.
blood. But now, and I said to this other doctor, a friend of mine, I go, well, what if I have HIV? He goes, well, now you can live. Back then, you didn't have a fucking.
It was a
people
death
were
sentence.
dropping.
Now it's a terminal illness.
And I mean, that's how Rick Avilas died. Charlie Barnett.
Remember
Charlie Barnett.
Yeah, remember what's his name? Tony at Catch a Rising Star. He was the door guy. Oh, I loved him. All right, go
in
ahead.
New York, Catch a Rising Star?
Yes.
Oh, I don't.
He was
a
so
real
cute.
good-looking guy.
Yes, tall.
I kind of remember him.
And the sweetest man in the world.
I kind of remember
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so I can't believe that this is supposed to be a funny podcast, and we've talked about AIDS, drug addiction.
Not getting hired.
Yeah.
Kill me now.
So you have a speech impediment,
A little, yeah.
and
2 letters.
what?
S
S
when I do not S.
or just A?
If I say hell, that's okay. But CH with the
Yeah.
H. H is my fucking
So did you get teased as a kid?
not as much as an adult.
That is ridiculous.
Well,
but
because
is it,
I'm on the radio and I put myself
Right.
out there, so that's their
do
comeback.
you
And you're a
think it
comic.
has affected you?
Well, you know, I said this to my wife the other day. It hasn't affected my. I you know, people. I do what I do,
Right.
but I've done a million pilots, and they go, you know, here's the excuses. This, and I said to my wife, what if they're going? Nobody wants to hear him talk, but they
Right.
won't tell you that,
Right.
So I don't know if it's affected me.
Right.
I don't. I know it has not affected my stand-up and my
Right.
creativity. I know it hasn't affected my writing.
So
And
do you ever acknowledge it? Like,
I sometimes on stage I'll
Right.
bring it up, but right now, look, I can talk right now. There's nothing wrong. You don't
Right.
hear anything.
have
it's
you
one
had
letter.
people with speech impediments like contact you and say thank you, thank you, thank you?
No, but more and more people that are getting sober or in recovery.
Oh, they thank
no.
you for that.
Yeah, because my problem, like I could talk and try to get around certain words, like I'm doing right now. You wouldn't know that there's something.
What
But
does
if I
Susie
say,
sell by the seashore again?
her pussy.
Nice.
Hey now! But you know, I look on. You know, you look at on TV. It's CNN. All these
Yeah.
journalists and pundits and experts. So many of them have speech. It's like that's fucking stupid.
I think
know.
it goes with you. I think it's
yeah,
a
it's
character
so much
trait.
a part of you because
Yeah.
you're such a fucking asshole.
I know.
And then you go, and then you realize, oh, he's just a little boy.
It makes you. Yeah, you remind me of like a Bowery kid. You know, a
Because you're
Bowery
all
boy.
tough
like-
looking. You got the fucking stupid tattoos that are going to look like shit. That one's already starting to look like shit.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
None of them look
and
like-
then you like lay in the sun. Your
I
skin.
don't lay in the sun. I
Why
play
are
golf.
you so tan?
I play golf, and I put on
Are you a good
sunscreen.
golfer?
Yes. Yes.
Who do you play against?
Look at that. She's swinging a golf club and she's holding one.
Did your mother ever say,
nice.
Richard?
Can I tell you a story about
Yeah.
golf tomorrow?
Yeah.
I might not be able to play tomorrow because I'm supposed to play, but I got to get my daughter a cast on her. She has to get a cast tomorrow
Raina?
morning. Yeah,
On what?
on her ankle.
Why?
Because she broke her nose, you fucking idiot.
Go
Why?
fuck yourself, you big fat cunt. So,
She has a little fracture. So
now,
She got hit with a golf club.
no. Tell me. No, there was a comic I played with a month ago. Mm-hmm. And I guess at that, I go, he got there before me. I go, what? I was going to go pay. That's all I said. I was going to pay, but he already paid for himself.
Right.
And I'll treat people. And
right.
So
How much is it like?
Well, for him, it would have been $75.
Right. Okay.
So then we're supposed to play tomorrow. And he calls me last night. I go, you're going to play tomorrow. We're talking. He goes, are you still going to pay? And now I'm uncomfortable. Who would ask?
Why would you ask that?
I know. I'm
Wait,
so
so
uncomfortable.
you get there, right?
This is a month ago.
He didn't pay for you.
No.
He just paid for himself.
Yeah, because it's my course, home course.
Oh, and you
he-
said
Right.
I'll get you next time?
No, I said I was going to pay
for
you.
you. So now he's
But
like,
even if I did say I'll get you next time, who would bring that up?
No,
Unless-
that's it. Does he must have
too
some? He
uncomfortable.
must be on the
wait, do you
spectrum.
belong to this? Do you belong to this
Well,
place?
no, it's a county course. It's real nice, but it's where I live in Somerset
Right.
County. It's really nice. And he's coming from...
I want to learn how to play golf. I tried it in Hawaii last year, and I was really good.
Were you? I
And
bet
I
you
love
are.
the whole.
It's great being out there.
Right.
I met so many great people from playing golf.
All right, but who's the comic?
I can't say.
Headliner?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Makes a lot of money?
I don't know.
Lives
I
in New
obviously
Jersey?
No, he's... Yeah, now he does.
Really?
I'm not going to ban out the comic because maybe he's...
Does he have children?
No.
Is he married?
No.
Okay. Fuck him then.
I know.
Okay?
Go on.
It's like I
But
am
who
so.
says- Go ahead.
Who's fucking Jewish?
No.
Right? I mean, and they talk about the Jews.
I know. But he said, are you still going to pay? But you can't make an offer like that. And then a month later, I feel
No, if
uncomfortable.
anything,
by it.
he should have been like, "Hey, it's a little rough for me right now. Can you please spot me tomorrow?"
No.
No,
But being more
That's your
direct would have made it
generation.
more
No,
uncomfortable.
that's your
There's no
generation.
spotting when it comes to
You're
golf.
just saying.
That is not my generation. My generation is pay for your own fucking self and eat it or
Right,
don't go.
right.
Yes,
or don't
especially
go.
golf.
Exactly.
Golf is
I'm
a
just
fucking
saying,
luxury.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
You know what? Then don't go play golf. So what? Did you say
invite
anything?
Rich
I
over to
said-
play your Wii.
I said, we'll see what happens.
No. Give me. I want to call the person.
No, I'm not going to pay. I'm
You're
probably
not.
not going to play anyhow tomorrow. Go ahead. What's your next?
All right.
What do you
I
want
need
to
to
you
know.
just fucked it up, man.
fuck.
What?
I need to
we
know.
haven't done an hour yet.
I need to know.
If you think you're going to... Go ahead.
So you're
The romantics.
How is it being in a
Sorry, boss.
How is it being in a relationship with another comic?
It's great and bad. It's like... Because...
Do
they
you get
things-
jealous of Bonnie?
Yes. At time, yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah, at time, yeah. But there's sometimes most of the time I'm proud of her and I brag
Right,
about her.
right.
She's brilliant. She's
Right.
great, writer, director,
Right.
everything. But yeah, she doesn't get that with me. It's weird when the first year, 11 years ago, when I wrote for the Oscars the first
Mm-hmm.
time, she got a half an hour special
Right.
on HBO.
Right.
And I, at the same time, was writing for the Oscars.
Right.
And she was a writer, and I was more of a comic.
Right.
I'm going, this is weird.
Right.
I should be doing it. And
Right.
so things work out the way they work out. Throughout our lives, I've been overshadowing her a
Right.
lot.
Right.
I'm a aggressive asshole
Right.
to begin with.
Right.
But now, after the movie and her book, she's starting to fucking blow up.
Right.
And the only thing with me is I'm happy when she gets stuff. The jealousy is and I don't even want to do half the
Right.
stuff. I don't want to do at midnight. That's not what I
Right.
want. I'm not against it.
Right.
I don't care about the Larry whatever.
Right.
I don't care. It's the fact that these people aren't asking me from the business.
Right.
And that pisses me off. And what
But you know
but
as
here's-
well as I that you're hot, then you're not
Yeah,
hot.
yeah.
You work,
Well, here's the
ebb and
thing.
flow and
Here's
flow
the
and
thing.
ebb and ebb and ebb.
And if you're a
candor and
woman,
ebb.
you're usually the token on a show.
I did
babe.
candor and ebb, and I got
Yes.
no reaction.
That was good.
Go.
Candor and Ebb,
Go.
yes.
You don't
Yeah,
know
no.
what candor and ebb
Of course
is.
No.
I do.
He doesn't.
A class act. They
No,
wrote
I know. I said he doesn't.
Fosse, Candor and Ebb.
Boss. All right, go.
So she deserves everything. She's paid her fucking dues.
Uh-huh.
Early in her career, she got more than she was deserved. She knows. But Maybe, I don't know.
All right, yeah, go.
Fucking no.
Foot in mouth.
I can do Shakespeare. You know, I auditioned for before I was a comic for a play for The Tempest, and I was hired right off the bat.
You're so full of shit.
It was an all-woman production,
Okay.
Rich. It couldn't have happened.
Series most bounteous lady, thy rich leaves of wheat, rye, barley,
All right,
oats,
great.
and
All right,
fetches.
great.
I just
From
fell
The
in love
Tempest.
with you, Rich.
Okay, so
No
you're
homo.
jealous of her. So you're
No. There's times. Listen, that's a
Do
that's
you
a
guys
natural
have a
emotion.
new manager?
It's about him.
Yes.
It's more about him.
No, it's not. People.
Do you
could
have
be
the
happy.
same manager?
Yes.
And so the person represents both of you,
Yes,
and
and
you
the last one did too.
and you separately as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they don't manage us together. I mean, we have pilots together,
Right,
TV
right,
shows
right.
that we're trying to sell.
God, you guys
And-
could have a modern day George and Gracie.
Oh, we're fucking. She's playing my sister.
playing
if we
his
get,
sister.
If we get the show, it's guaranteed.
Yes.
That's,
I'm
that's
so
right.
his sister.
It's
And
over.
that's
It's
gonna
over.
kiss him.
I love
But
it.
here's look. What it's not as much of being jealous of her. It's being scared that I'm on the road and I've seen comics get pushed out of these clubs. I see it all the time. I lose for every club I lose. I got to get 2 new clubs
Right.
because I'm going to lose
Right.
one. And it's not because of. It's just because. And I never
That
realized
was a
this in
great
comedy.
sentence, by the way.
I never realized in
followed it.
comedy
Right.
that you could age out in comedy, but I see great comics that don't work the clubs anymore. I mean,
Hello,
great.
I've been told I aged out of Comedy Central, of all this shit. It's like, oh wait, so now humor has an age. It's like fuck you. We're
know.
funnier.
Let me tell you,
we're fucking funnier. Joan Rivers aged
Yeah.
out. Fuck you,
I
you
know.
fucks.
It's
I don't
so-
even understand half the comics.
So neither do I. So I get nervous about that, saying, and I try to stay relevant, because I'm bringing in a lot of the money, and so is she. And I got 3 kids, so yeah.
Right.
So it's maybe more.
But you don't.
Being-
The older two, you don't have to give a lot of money to.
No, but you still
They'll have to,
anything. I don't give them. But it's still.
Do you want to? Don't you wish you didn't have to go on the road, or do you secretly enjoy going?
No, I love doing comedy. I
Right.
love it. I love being in certain
Right.
places. I play golf at the best
Right.
course, but I don't. I wish I didn't have to go as. I wish I didn't have to go as much on the road.
Right.
And I wish that it didn't mean the money wasn't so important.
Right. It's like people are like, I love because I love doing stand up and I
Yeah.
will always do it. But when I have to do
Yeah.
it and I am doing a gig because I have to, it's really hard. It's like, but I'm grateful that I have the skill.
This week I'm working at Morty's in Indianapolis, and it's a real club, so I look forward to the real
Oh,
club.
I've never done that.
Next week I'm at some club where they're supposed to be really cool, like 100-seater.
Right, where?
And they have in Wilmington, North Carolina,
Carolina.
called the Dead Crow Comedy Club.
Oh, okay.
And
Wilmington's great. Yeah.
And so I'm looking for. That's why I'm going to tape a CD because
Right.
it's like 100-seater. So yeah, I love doing.
How do you
comedy.
get these bookings?
I'm Rich Vos.
Do you call them yourself?
Yeah, I call them
Because the agents don't do it anymore.
I'm done with them.
Yeah.
I left who I was with. Yeah.
I know, me too.
I get. They call me. I call them. They
Right.
email me. Look, the nightmare I did Saturday in front of my friends, next week in a real comedy club will make up for it.
Right.
But these clubs are, they're going to bring in a $1,200 headliner.
Right.
Or 15 and think
not-
they're
right.
and not bring me in because I'm not working for 12 or 1,500. I'm not
Right.
going to do it.
They need the fucking studio, but you're coming back for a part 2. Okay, listen, you fuckhead.
What?
I need to know what pisses you off the most. I mean, and you're always pissed off. So, but like, what fucking grates on your
Look,
nerves more
I
than?
could sit here and try to be some fucking political
Yeah.
guy and all this.
Right.
What drives me fucking nuts is anybody that works in service, like a waitress, a
Right.
hotel employee, mainly females, that talk to me in the fucking waitress voice or the hotel or that fuck like I'm 6 years old.
Right, so
and
say it, do it.
I can't do the
This?
yeah.
Hi, how are you? Yeah.
Hi, sir. How are you today? We have a couple specials on the menu.
That's it.
Would you like
Yeah.
me to read them to you? Can I get you some water?
So
Iced
do you
or
say
no?
anything?
Yes, I say if you talk in your real voice, you'll get a bigger tip. And then sometimes at hotels, I said to this girl at a hotel, I go, no one's here. Talk to me in your voice.
Right.
It's like they're
I know,
programmed.
I know.
That fucking voice drives me. Talk to me. You're programmed, and I hate people that cannot make an executive decision that are employees.
Well, because they are programmed. And these are the rules, and they can't say, "Oh, I should do this because it makes sense,"
Yeah.
Or because it makes the customer feel more comfortable.
I'm going to think on my own. What's a solution? How to solve a fucking problem?
Know
I
your
walked into a
audience.
place in where I was, and I walked in to get a sub. I go, "Can you scoop the bread?" And she looked at me like I asked her to explain Einstein's theory on relativity.
Right.
Oh my God.
She goes, "What?" And I think what she heard me say was, "Can you put A's on the sandwich?"
Right.
Because she said, "We don't put A's on the sandwich." I go, well, "Just a little. I want a
Right,
little."
just
but, I got some type of my own. And I go, "Can I scoop myself?" She goes, "I can't hand you the bread." I go, "I'm buying the fucking sandwich in 3 minutes." And I wasn't allowed.
Well, why couldn't she scoop it out?
She didn't know what it meant.
Oh my God! It's like
my God! I hate everyone. They're so fucking stupid.
I hate.
they didn't
now,
train us to know
What?
what scoop
I know that
means.
you-
Was I a good guest?
Oh my God!
You're
I
awesome.
I could go on and on if they need the studio and I have a show. Listen, what meds are you on?
Anxiety medicine, but I'm prescribed like a whole twice a day, and I might, a whole one.
What is it?
Oh, clonazepam.
Klonopin?
Yeah. So I'll take.
Clonazepam.
Yeah, it is because I get the generic one, so I don't.
Okay.
So, but they say take a whole, so I might take a half. I'll take a half.
A half.
That's what
Maybe
I do.
3 or 4 times. I take it before I go on stage. I get
Really?
Yeah, I get anxiety before I go up.
Can I tell you that the only time I'm not anxious is when I'm on stage
Oh,
or
if
when
it-
I'm going
really?
on stage. That is
Me
the only
too.
time.
Me too. I identify with you.
VP.
Yes, Mrs.
No, people are like, do you get nervous? I'm like, I feel the most comfortable. Like last night was our opening night.
13,000. Go ahead.
That watch was $13,000.
I got it for 10.
you guys are so
How?
ADD.
No, you
it's
didn't.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I got
You
it for
bought
10.
a watch for $10,000. You're worried about money.
Oh, well, see, I got my. I'm a
What
little.
kind of watch is it?
He's an
Rolex.
OG douche.
You got a Rolex?
I traded in 2 for it
So did you just stare at it? When did you get it?
last week.
And you just stare at it.
I don't wear it that much. I wear. My
What
other
about okay? So I don't get nervous. What about the fact that you have a picture of your penis on your phone?
How
And
do you
you're
know?
Like, because you showed it to me.
Are you kidding me?
You
It's that-
show
but it was
everyone your
soft.
penis.
When I get my penis, I'm gonna fucking send you, Rich, a bunch of pictures
no,
of it.
All he
Good for
does,
you.
he's like, oh, let me show you a picture of my kids, and then all of a sudden, oh, sorry. What is wrong with you? And you're
comic.
showing me
I'm a
a fucking
comic.
picture like I have anything to compare it to.
I just want you to see
Yeah.
what you missed out on.
right, yeah.
I've seen all my guy
Down to your,
friends' pics.
what if Raina knew that you fucking?
Oh, do you know what Raina said to me the other day?
What?
Raina goes, "Mommy told me to shut the fuck up." I go, "Well, then shut the fuck up."
She's very cute.
Funny.
She's
All right.
hilarious.
How are
I
your
got-
kids doing?
They're good. Henry's working a lot, and he's home for the summer. And Ben, Ben's 6'5" and he's 14. He's gonna be 15 in August.
That's amazing.
What? And is he an athlete?
He's an amazing basketball player.
Is
So
he really?
he's- Yes, he will play. They're they're
Gifted.
Will he go to pros?
He wants to, but he's going to go to college first. So they're
On a scholarship,
prepping
right?
him for D1. That's right, baby.
Good.
He'll be in my act the only Jewish NBA player with 2 mothers.
That's fabulous. Are you
Yeah.
still with that other, the therapist?
Yes, Elisa. Yes, I am.
I'm a big fan of hers.
I know you are, but she's difficult. She's difficult.
All relationships.
I
are.
know. They're a lot of fucking work.
Have we? We've never met, have we?
You and I, you're ridiculous.
I'm trying to think.
Get the fuck out. You're on my shit list.
Well,
Oh,
you
we
know
did-
what? It's my fucking show, so don't act cool. You're supposed to be the nice one.
Oh, are you being serious right now?
No.
Okay, great.
I'm just fucking with you.
All right.
Listen,
That's what I get for being the nice one.
thank you, Richard.
you
Will
for
you
having
come
me.
back? Will you come back? Because I begged you to fucking come on.
You never been. We just couldn't get the time.
no,
right.
you're like, I'm not going to be in the city. I'm not going to be in the city.
I'm on the road so much. Of
Yeah.
course, any Tuesday I would love to do this because
All right.
I'm in town.
I want to be on your fucking show soon.
Okay, we're having a
I
great
love your
guest
show.
tonight.
You guys got to check
Kevin
out.
Brennan.
Oh, that'll be fun because he's really positive.
He's out of his fucking
I
mind.
know. Listen.
Thank you.
Check out My Wife Hates Me on Sirius.
XM.
Or our,
Where are you on Tweetar?
Or you could subscribe.
Or our podcast, My Wife Hates Me, on iTunes.
Yes.
That's
Right.
much better.
And our podcast also is on iTunes.
Do you guys do... I'll talk to you after it.
And, wait, what?
We did a live show last week. I'll wrap it up with us. And it'll be July 5th on Sirius. We taped it at the Village Underground.
Oh, I heard,
My Wife Hates Me.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
And it was 6 comics came out and did stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 4 female judges, and after every set, they would say whether they would fuck them or not. And they discussed whether they would fuck the comic.
That's such a great idea.
Nice.
That's great. And your daughters are very proud.
Thank you.
So everybody, Rich Vos, famous feminist
Yes.
and comic.
Yeah.
Check him out.
I'm very... I am a feminist.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I'm very
busting
into
your balls.
Okay. Listen,
little.
And
I
also
love
send me
you.
your penis.
Can you shut up?
Yes.
I love
Leave
you.
her alone.
I love you.
Him.
Nice.
I love you.
Sorry. Well, thank you for having me. You're always going to be one of my favorites. Always. I have nothing but good things to say about Judy Gold. And
Because you're the same person.
most bounteous lady, thy rich leaves of wheat.
God. All right,
I'm
ladies and
fucking out.
gentlemen, Rich Vos, thank you all for listening. So long!
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.